tribal council of UTC Survivor. A lot of people would love to be in y'all's shoes. However, you two are the final two remaining. You should be very, very proud of yourselves. Welcome our jury, the deciders of who's going to win this. We have Brandon, Lindsay, Kendall, Z, and then recently voted out just an hour ago, Jessica. At this time, we're going to allow Harley, then Hallie, to stand up, give a speech on why you think you should be named first ever UTC Survivor. Then we're going to switch. You're going to give your speech on why you think you should be the UTC Survivor. And then we're going to allow time for our 5 members of our jury to come up here and ask questions on anything that they're uncertain about. All right, so at this time, Harley.
I feel like a lot of people on the jury, like, I probably have caused a little bit of bad blood with, but I think that that's a sign of playing a very active game, which is how Survivor should be played. I think that if you play a clean game the whole time, you probably didn't play to the best of your abilities. I had possession of 2 idols, and everyone knew about the second one, and you guys didn't even flush it, which I think is pretty impressive, considering the whole jury was against me at one point. So I think that I played a strong game, and I think that not even having to use an idol shows how well I talked through the game, played challenges, won immunity. So that's really all I have.
Thank you, Harley. Hallie, at this time, please give your statements on why you think you should win the game.
From the beginning, I thought I would be like the first one voted out, and then when I got deeper into the game, I was like, wow, I'm really in this, so I'm gonna try my best. And like tonight was really a special night for me, because I was like, if I don't win this, I knew that Jessica and Harley had a really good alliance, so if I didn't win, then I was going home, and I knew that. So I went in tonight, I was like, I have to win, I have to win tonight. And there was a lot of at the beginning of challenges, I was like I tried my best in a lot of the challenges, because I knew I did have a disadvantage from the start, just because I'm small and I'm not the smartest. Everyone knows that. So I'm thankful that I'm here today, but
thank you, Hallie. All right, at this time, our jury, Brandon, you are first. Step up, please, and just ask whatever questions you would like to whoever.
I'm actually going to ask for both. Harley, I'll start with you first. What was your strategy throughout the game, and what was forget the first question. What was your biggest move on your part this entire game? Doesn't have to be during the merge or just the entire game.
I would say my biggest move through the game was giving Z an idol right before merge so we could backdoor Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that whenever we did merge, Hannah would have the girls' number over me, and probably Kendall's vote as well, just because they're really close. And I knew that I would probably be the first girl to go home, so I just knew that I had to get rid of that number early.
Okay, same question, Hallie.
well, this isn't I don't know, probably my biggest move was work my hardest in the challenges. Tonight I tried my best and came out with 20 hits, and then the night that I went against you in the one where we had to hang on the pole, and I knew I was going against you, so I was I'm gonna have to fight to not lose against you. And of course I still lost, but I think I put in my hardest. I was after I was off the pole, I was okay, I have to freaking wrestle. I have to wrestle Jessica and Lindsay, and I was my strategy is that with that was okay, it's 2 against 1, so I'm gonna get on top of one so the other one can't pull me.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that was probably I'm pretty proud that I wrestled and lasted that long, even though I still lost against you. But
That's all I have.
Thank you, Brandon. Lindsay, at this time, if you'd like to step up, ask any questions you'd like.
This is another question for both of you. I guess Harley, you can answer first. I just want to know, what is a strength or 2 that you see in your opponent?
I think Hallie is a really strong opponent, just because she does compete really hard in the challenges. I think that she's played a good social game. She's been on both sides of the spectrum, I feel because there's been a distinction, I feel the whole game in 2 sides, and Hallie has definitely played both sides really well, as well as played all of the challenges really well.
my turn. I think Harley's been really smart throughout the whole game. Out of everybody in the game, she found the super idol. So, I mean, that's also like a big advantage that she had throughout the game. So, that's literally all I had.
Thank you, Lindsay. Kendall.
Harley, I do think you played a very respectable game. I would disagree with how you said that if you play an honest game the whole time, you're not really playing to the best of your ability, because that's how I played and I got fairly far. I would say, since you played more on the fear-mongering side, do you think that worked better for you than playing an honest game in the long run?
I think so. I tried to be honest with the people that I needed to be honest with, and in no way was I like disrespecting your game. Like, you did make it a long way, and honesty is a good gameplay in this game. I just knew that with a tight group like we had, like, there was no way that you were just gonna go through completely honest with everyone and word wasn't like gonna get around.
That's fair.
Like, I played a pretty honest game, honestly, because, like, I told everybody straight up, like, who I was voting for, like, and even if it was, like, even if it was, like, the person I was voting at, and they came up and asked me, are you voting for me, I was pretty honest with that, because, I mean, they really had no choice at that point, so, like, I just thought to be honest, because they were gonna figure out sooner or later if I voted for them or not.
I will say, being on the same tribe as you twice, that's very accurate. I want to ask both of you, what do you think, so that the counter question to what Lindsay said, what do you think is a weakness in yourself in the game that could have been exploited?
A weakness in myself would probably be just like kind of putting too much trust in other people and then finding myself in really like tough situations to get out of. Like, finding the super idol with Hannah like put me in a really tough place, because I had made promises to Z and I had made promises to Hallie in the past as well, and so like it was a really hard decision to make, and I think that putting myself in several situations like that was really tough, and like if I would have just chose a person and stuck with them the whole time, I probably would have had a much easier game.
I think I had a lot of disadvantages from the start, because like I said at the beginning, like, I mean, first of all, I've never watched Survivor, so I went into it like completely blind. I knew no clue what I was doing. Like, I didn't even know how tribal council worked. I didn't know anything. I was just like, I'm playing this game and I have no clue. And I thought I was gonna be the first one out in the beginning, just because like I'm not like smart with this kind of stuff. Like, I had no clue what I was doing, and I'm just like weak in challenges. Like, I'm obviously not a strong person, so for me to go against a strong person would be very hard for me, so that's a disadvantage for me. So.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Kendall.
Right here. I have a question.
Jessica. This is the final person to ask questions. Hope that you all are absorbing all this knowledge.
I was just gonna ask if there was like one specific moment or move that y'all made that you wish you could do differently, like if you had any regrets in the game, and I guess you could have none, but if there's anything you would do differently.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't do much differently. There was at one point where I did regret letting Lindsay go home. Like, I wanted to play my super idol on Lindsay. I just saw it fit for her to go further, but I decided to play for myself in that situation. And I do still regret like not saving Lindsay, because she was the reason that I knew what was happening that night, and you did, like, you helped me too. So I feel bad about that. And then also like finding the idol with Hannah, because I had no intention of really finding it with her. It was kind of just like I'll go look for it with you, so it seems like we're on the same team, and then we ended up finding it, and it just kind of put me in a tough spot.
I don't think there's really anything that I like regret doing in the game, because like I said, like I was pretty honest with like everyone, and I felt like everything that I did was either my only choice to do it, or I just thought I did what was right. I mean, one thing I kind of do regret is, so the night that Z told me that Harley had the super idol, my first thought was, well, she turned against me. She didn't tell me. So my first thought was, let's tell everybody and like turn against her. But I feel like it could have helped me in like the long run to just go and talk to her and be like, hey, I know you have the super idol, like, and us three know, because we had a pretty good alliance at that point. I thought the only thing to do was to tell everyone, which I kind of regret doing that now.
Can I ask one more?
Yeah.
Okay, final question. If you guys do win, what are you gonna do with your prize money?
I will probably not be taking the prize money. Just
She will
like
be.
I'm not gonna take $100 from him. He's put in way too much work
He'll
to
just
like.
buy you dinner a bunch.
Yeah, like that's fine. He's just put in way too much work to like put this on for everybody. Like I'm not taking anything else from him. We've taken so much of his time.
I'll either throw a big pizza party and invite the camera crew because I think that they deserve a lot, or pay the camera crew, like, with all of the money. Like,
Kroger Ranch.
Thanks, guys.
Dude, just put an ad on it.
All right. You all had your chance to ask your questions. I hope that y'all were listening. I hope you've made up your mind. This is an individual vote. There is no collaboration here. It's who you individually think should win this game. So, without further ado, let's get to the vote. Brandon, you're up first. Welcome to the final tribal council. Got the votes here. And then we have our winner of the first ever season of UTC Survivor. So, without further ado, let's read off the votes. First vote, Hallie. Second vote, Harley. One vote Harley, one vote Hallie. Hallie. 2 votes Hallie, 1 vote Harley. Harley. 2 votes Harley, 2 votes Hallie. This is the last vote. First ever winner of UTC Survivor, Harley.
Hey, Mom. Or tell me that's in the show.
It's an IPA, so it's an Indian pale ale. It's a lot more citrusy, but it also has a higher alcohol percentage. Like I want to say it's like 7%.
It's not like while she was on the floor.
Alright, let's get started here.
Alright, everyone shut up.
Let's begin our night of premiere. First of all, just a big hand for every single one of you for showing up, challenging, doing all the work. Tonight we don't have everybody here. Waiting for this one. We love it. First things first, let's congratulate through a few individual awards here.
That's amazing.
Tonight we have specifically 4 awards that we're going to give out. They're not necessarily deemed the most important or anything like that, but there's something. So here's the 4 immunity idols that were in the game. So you can get that if you get one of these cards. All right. First, most survived tribal councils. Anybody want to take a guess?
I have one. Kendall.
Yeah, it's definitely Hallie.
Hallie with 11 survived. I don't know the math. Anyway.
You're sibling.
All right. Worst move in the game.
Armand.
Z. Harley showed him the special idol, and he was the only one who knew about it besides Hannah, but she got voted off. She was basically saying to Z, come to the final 2 with me, and then he betrayed her, tried to vote her off. That was by far the worst All right. Most votes. Most times a person has gotten voted at. Kendall. He was the most shot at player in the game, yet he survived final 5. Pretty good. All right, last award here, and then we got a bunch of honorable mention awards. Most first place challenge wins. Out of all the challenges, all the teams we were on, who came in first place the most?
Not anyone blue or green.
Emily.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Emily with 6 dubs. Red team carried you there pretty good, and then you were on blue team, which was also the most successful team. So. Yeah.
That's fine, bro. Red right number 1.
Correct. All right. On to our honorable mention awards. Least hated player in the game, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Let's go! All right. We'll get to that.
Oh, no.
All right.
Armand's face, dude.
The Oscar goes to Roy. The Oscar goes to Ross. All right, most feared player in the game. Carter.
That makes sense.
That man was literally attacked by this many people right here. Y'all wanted him out immediately. He's such a good player. Y'all didn't even want him in the game for a second. Too much.
I didn't win.
All right. Best in challenge play. Best in challenge play. Josh. Where's that man at?
Yes, sir.
He was on a 1v1 with Armand and beat him for the win.
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good in challenge play.
Yeah, Joshy Bear.
Best challenge performance. So overall in that challenge, a certain person just completely dominated the challenge. Kendall. You had to get the 3 wins first. And then Hallie and Z both had 1 win. Kendall had 3. Pretty much right before he hit the ball, pretty much every possession. He absolutely dominated that challenge. Most hated tribe. Red tribe. Red tribe. Yeah! No one liked them. Funniest out of challenge moment. This one's really good. Funniest out of challenge moment. That goes to a 3-way tie between Z, Hallie, and Harley. They went looking for an idol one night, and the clue was, you know how trees are labeled out there? Yeah. It was one of those names for the tree, so they're out like an hour and a half looking for this tree. Can't find it. Z decided to say, he was on camera, he was like, I'm just going to act like I have the idol and walk off. They did that. Hallie tackled him. They got in a huge fight, and then in the midst of their fight, they landed right in front of the tree. And then they found the idol. They all just stood around the tree and were laughing. They didn't even dig. They just started laughing. That was by far the funniest out-of-game moment. The most betraying thing that happened in this game. That also goes to Z and Hallie for completely backstabbing Green Team. They worked with Armand and told all of the secrets, such as Kendall having an idol. They discussed the plans to grow the challenge.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, they went on AMAC, dude. That was so freaking
Kendall, it was supposed to be you, actually.
The person with the most idols this game. It was Harley. She had the special idol and then had an idol that which she gave to Z later, or at some point in the game. The best social player. Armand. He happened to have at least 2 people on every single team that were under his command. Now, right behind that, the gayest vote out was Armand for voting himself out. That was pretty gay. That was pretty gay, Armand. The people that gave me the most editing problems.
There she is.
Jessica. With an honorable mention of Hallie. So both of you really, really screwed me over in a lot of different episodes. And you lasted to the very end, so that really did not help.
Did you hear about that? Yeah, the GoPro was in picture mode.
Yeah.
For the bandana, John, so it's just thousands of pictures on a video.
That's the next point. Most depressing film crew moment was whenever her GoPro for the challenge was in picture mode, so it just took like 2,000 pictures instead of a video. And then the funniest thing, I wish I could pull it up. She just has to take it off one time and start talking. She is balls deep in sweat, and her face is red, and she's just talking, and it's just her facial expression.
The worst facial expression.
Overall, though, that was a pretty fun game. I broke my shoulder, as you all know. I just wanted something to do. So I think it means a lot to me that you all stuck around and played the game. You know, y'all gave me something to do. And I heard a lot about how y'all guys wouldn't have even played it, you know, if I wasn't doing it. And that definitely meant a lot to me. So just thank all y'all for playing. And without further ado, let's watch the show.
I'm not giving that to anyone.
I don't even need one trophy that I won.
Hey, are you throwing your play?
Dude, I'm an Oscar winner.